be completely honest. So this is the video that we're going to get into, exploring Brisbane's ghost stations. They kind of did it like a docu-series by the looks of it. I have skipped through a little bit every so often just to see. So yeah, we'll do this and we'll get into the watching this right now. I'll send the links after we watch them on stream. I'll send you the links as I finish the videos. That way you can watch them in your own time, or you can watch the VOD afterwards. You're going to be watching a movie, so you're going to be skedaddling. Okay. Well, you have fun with your movie and enjoy it. We'll still have to try and find a point in time where we can watch it. I am going to be, hopefully in like 2 weeks' time or something, recording... Jesus Christ. A bicycle ride video. I did just order a new bicycle, which I'm going to have to pick up tomorrow. It's a cheap fucking thing, so I won't be surprised if it breaks. Like $200. Coming to your stream at some point, you swear? You better. I swear to God. I still need my borscht recipe too. Fuck me to my borscht recipe. Fuck. Alright. I'm gonna get into this anyways now.
Every year, tens of millions of people commute on the Queensland Rail suburban network, going from one station to another, with most people taking this expansive public works project
See, the thing is,
for granted.
I love trains as well, so this is actually the kind of like the perfect fucking video for me to watch, because whilst I won't be able to fully nerd out, because I don't 100% know these trains and their models and shit, I love trains. I absolutely fucking just nerd out on trains. I love them. I absolutely just fucking adore them. They're great. Favourite mode of transport? Wish we were still in the steam era, though.
But beneath the modern railways and bustling platforms is a forgotten chapter in Brisbane transport history. Disused train station that once played a vital role in connecting communities.
It's
as
so
the railway
sad
system
seeing
evolved
like
over
abandoned
time,
railway.
expanding to meet demands of the growing city. Some stations were
abandoned
forgotten
railways.
about as...
No, bitch! I will 1v1 you. I will punch you in the mouth with my mouth so hard that you won't never recover.
relics of a bygone era. These silent remnants offer a time capsule into the past, showcasing an interesting glimpse into the Brisbane from back then. In this episode, I will be exploring Brisbane's ghost stations. But what makes the station...
It's really funny because, see, Brisbane area, it relies so heavily on its rail network, just like Queensland itself. So the fact that it even has ghost stations is actually a bit surprising, but also not, because as the city grew and built up, it required more and more advancements to the rail network. So a lot of the stations, they just didn't bother because updating them would have cost just as much as building the new station. So they were like, no, fuck this. We're just going to put a new station in. So, well, how action doesn't respond.
A ghost station specifically? Well, I've devised 3 criteria. 1, the station must be abandoned, obviously. 2, the station must be between 2 other stations that are served by Queensland Rail. So, main station to my right passes as it's between Bowen Hills and Albion, while Cobble Station on the Daybro branch is disqualified because there's no station north that's served by Queensland Rail. And 3, there must be something left. So, main station gets disqualified because there's nothing there and it's not really interesting, and so are all of these stations. So with that said, let's...
Well, hang on. I want to see that disqualified list again. Hang on, that's the form side of main station. Oh, okay. That's Bowen Hill. So, okay, so this is where mains used to be, so the track splits off up here, but I'm pretty sure this is still part of the main line, sort of in this area here, so it's still operational here to there and around up this way. But this network that shoots up here, where the station essentially apparently used to be, given that he says former site here, line must be inoperable now. Or the station itself is inoperable. Then whatever trains run on that line just bypass it.
And it's not really interesting, and so are all of these stations. So with that said, let's...
Fuck, I missed the list. I came back for the list specifically. And I missed the list.
So
Normandy, Du Bois, Ural, Old Cleveland Stations, Old Binley, Old Bowen Hills, many more.
that said, let's get into it.
Neander Station, or however you know it. So there's Brisbane City.
Nestled between Rockley and Salisbury Station is this, Neander Station. In 1885, it opened as Neander Crossing as one of the original stations on the Binley line.
The highway was
it quickly
built
became the
onto
de
it.
facto station for workers employed at
So
the
basically
Even,
ripped it up and
Deakin
replaced it
and
with
Company
dirt.
when the workshops opened here, adjacent to the station. You can actually see a spur line behind me
so it
there
was built
going
there
to
for
the
the
workshops,
industrial.
which is currently not in use. In 1951, it was renamed from Neander Crossing to just Neander.
Okay.
In 1975, the construction of the Bow Desert Road overpass above me was started, presumably to alleviate traffic from the level crossing just over there.
So it was designed
In
to
this aerial
sort of ease
imagery from
traffic.
1975, you can see
Okay.
the overpass starting to be constructed. And ironically,
Yeah.
a bunch of congestion on the old road due to a passing train. On a modern
Yeah.
map, the old road south of the level crossing and the overpass itself are both known as Bow Desert Road. During the late 70s, most stations south of the
that'd be
Brisbane River
confusing.
were steadily being lengthened to accommodate for the SX set carriages and the new at the time EMU carriages. But Neander had no room to expand.
Alright.
On the east side was Bow Desert Road, while on the west side was the previously mentioned rail spurt.
So this is the station, or former station right here. They've got a pylon sitting right in the middle of the platform, which has been ripped up and replaced with dirt so that nature can take over the platform again. This photo looks old, too. Like, it's probably a more modern one, but it looks like an old photo. Like 2004 type first photo. So someone get hit by a pedestrian train? Really? Like, wait, hang on, wait, what? Like, right now, or just like recently, kind of deal? And accommodate for stream delay. It happened on New Year's Day. Oh shit! All right.
Deakin workshops. As a result of this, the station closed down in 1978 when the Maryvale Bridge was opened. It was also possible that another factor for the closure was the fact that the station was located less than 600 metres from both Rockley and Salisbury stations, which I still find bizarre. So for reference, that's the Neander station right there.
Yep.
And then that's Rockley. So they're actually really
close. That is close.
And another thing is, though, the actual Neander station, it looks very dystopian, like one of those, stations in LA that's under
Harbour Freeway
They
Metro
died.
Station
The train
in
was
LA.
headed to New York when it happened.
I guess it. Oh, well, of course they died. They got hit by a fucking train. They would have turned into a fine red mist, at best. The train was headed to New York when it happened. Fuck. That actually does make a lot of sense. So, like, where did it happen though? Like, were they just a fucking like what? I need details here. Were they a drunkard running, like, walking down the track, or did they fall in front of the train? Did they get, well, probably not pushed in front of it. Were they trying to cut across the level crossing while the boom arms were down? I need details, man.
Actually, he survived the initial impact but died at the hospital. Was definitely walking the tracks as they were nowhere near a station.
Oh my god. Okay. Here's a little tip for people. If you can't see a train anywhere on the track, put like a small coin on the track, put your ear right to the track, you'll be able to feel the vibration on the track. You should be able to see that coin vibrating. If it has even the slightest bit of vibration, there is a train on that line. Stay off the track. Or just stay off it in general if you are smart. But we are talking about Americans here, so, you know. I say that like we Australians are actually smart. The reality is not. But, okay, fucking a little bit of fucking safety for everybody. Just stay off of train tracks. For the love of fuck, stay off train tracks. Seriously. They are dangerous. Trains cannot stop. They take at least 2 football fields to slow down. Okay? And that's like American football fields too. That's not our 200 meter field, our 100 meter field, sorry, here in Australia. Okay? That's an American football field. I don't know how big that is, but they base that off the American football fields. Please don't.
You want to hear something else?
What's that?
In December alone, we had in the United States 2 different train accidents that involved derailment.
Well, you had 2 things, 2 derailments.
So we had 2 trains that both hit vehicles that also derailed.
Oh, now Thunder's sick. Fucking, you and I apparently fucking start recovering. I'm assuming you've just about recovered. I'm nearly fully recovered. And now fucking Thunder's sick. God damn it. But yeah, anyway, so they were derailments.
She's doing better than she was when I first got home from work.
Probably because I started live streaming.
Well, no, she had a temperature of 103.1.
Correct measurements, please.
Oh, fuck off. God damn it. Thought it was 103 you had. Oh, 103.2. 39.55 degrees Celsius.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, getting that cold shower. What the fuck?
So I had her take medicine. I gave her a cold cloth, and I had her eat, and we got her temperature down to 99.
I don't know if you guys have it over there as well, but there's a great thing for when, because having a temp that high, your body's going to go through its fluids like there's no fucking tomorrow, right? To try and keep itself cool. There's these things called Hydrolyte. You can get them in like effervescent tablets. You can get them in icy poles. You can get them in like a Gatorade style drink. They work fucking wonders when you're dehydrated. They're primarily used for when you're vomiting because that dehydrates you the most, but a temperature can do the same because it will make your body use its fluids. Also, flat cold lemonade works wonders. Gives you something in your stomach if you end up having to throw up.
I've been having her drink Pedialyte.
Okay, good.
So that's what I've had her drinking. I got her to eat 1 thing of applesauce and 2 baked potatoes. The baked potatoes were just salt and peppered. So she's eating, she's drinking, and she's actually drinking her Pedialyte right now as we speak.
Okay, cool. But
So
anyways,
she's and we got her temperature down to 37.5 degrees Celsius.
Oh, that's good. That's nearly back to. That's close enough to normal.
Yeah.
Is what 37, 36 and a half or something or other, I believe, is the standard operating temperature of the human body. I don't remember. It's been ages, but anyways, so yeah, so temps back down, but so what happened with these derailments?
37 degrees Celsius is normal.
Okay, gotcha.
So the first one that happened, there was an oversized load. It was stuck on the tracks. Train, I don't know how fast it was doing, hit the truck and sent the trailer flying, obviously, and then it derailed. And when it derailed, it also derailed into a building.
Oh shit! Was there anyone inside?
Yes, there were people inside the building. I think they all survived though.
Oh, that's good.
The other train derailment that I don't actually haven't seen an update on that one yet. Fire truck was going to a call and decided to go around the gates.
I think I've seen these on YouTube.
It's very well possible.
Was the truck that got hit a yellow orangey truck by chance?
The one that hit the oversized load?
The one that hit the truck with the semi.
Truck.
The semi.
So the semi truck was. Here, I'll just send you the video.
All right.
Boop. So here's this one. Fuck, once I can find my Discord, there it is. Fucking good word. Right. There's that one. That's the oversized load one.
Oh no, that's a different one to the one I was thinking of. But yeah, no, the fire truck one I have seen. It was in like a fucking compilation video that I saw. It came out like. No, it was a YouTube short. Sorry, it was a YouTube short.
That's under a highway. It just kind of looks like one of those.
Yeah, that fire truck.
I don't like
not have pulled out.
Yeah.
It's quite weird.
The worst part is all the firefighters.
Okay, so this is the train station when it was in operation, 1976. Passenger cars, very tiny operating office. This freeway fully built. Oh, it was always a grass station. They just removed all the buildings from it. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, see, the line, I was right, the lines are still in operation, but the stations themselves are not part of operation anymore. See, this is exactly what I was expecting.
She wants me to make it known that she's wearing her cunt necklace.
Huh?
She's wearing her cunt necklace.
That's perfect.
Keep laughing.
Of course I'm laughing. It's a necklace that says cunt, why wouldn't I laugh?
He's actually gonna potentially wear it to our concert in June.
I'm standing on Gloucester Street, and behind me are the remains of Gloucester Street Station. The station was opened in 1891 with the extension of the line from Bogo Junction Station through to Melbourne Street Station with a double section of track to serve the common surroundings and to replace the old line through Wollongabba. In 1925,
the construction of the Brisbane Kyoga line commenced, requiring a standard gauge connection as a new south
hang on, what do you say then? What year did that start?
line through Wollongabba. In 1925, the construction of the Brisbane Kyoga line commenced, requiring a standard gauge connection as a New South
For anybody wondering, these 3 rail lines, the third rail is designed to send power into the train. So some trains, they don't have pantographs, they run on a third rail. Or at least they will have pantographs, but the third rail's there when the pantograph is not an option. So the train will get power through that third rail, which has like a sort of special thing under the train to connect to the rail and transfer power up into the train, which will allow the train to continue functioning. I don't remember exactly why they use it when the system is set up for pantograph. I think it was put there before the pantograph systems were put in place, because the third rail system actually came out prior to the pantograph system, I'm pretty sure.
Wales, they use standard gauge, while here in Queensland we use narrow gauge.
It's also dual gauge. So you can have a standard gauge track and a narrow gauge carriage on the same line. I'm not going to backpedal on what I said. People do use the third rail to transfer power. It's just in this case I was wrong, and they did. This is just a dual gauge track, which is why they got a pantograph system.
A tunnel was constructed to accommodate for this third track, which you can see just behind me there. The Brisbane Kyoga line opened in September of 1930.
It started on a narrow gauge.
Just like the Ender station before it, there was no space to lengthen the platform between the bridges that carry Gloucester Street and the tunnels just up ahead for the new SX set carriages and EMUs, as it was deemed too expensive to rebuild the bridge or tunnel, and due to Vulture Street station being located only 600 metres away.
I'm noticing that pipeline there to stop the water from flooding onto the track directly. That's smart.
It was decided to close the station instead of lengthening it. In 1978, Gloucester Street Station was closed with the opening of the Maryvale Bridge.
Oh damn. Oh god, that squelching. That's like a symphony to my ears. Mwah. Screeching, sorry. Squelching. Fuck.
Welcome to Tennyson Station. Originally opened as soft stone pocket railway siding in 1884, it was later renamed Tennyson in 1887 and is dedicated on its own rail corridor between Corinda and Yurrungpilly. It's known as the Corinda to Yurrungpilly line, obviously, or more commonly as the Tennyson line. This line might have you a little bit confused, as it's unique, unlike other lines. While all the other lines on the Brisbane suburban network are raised.
Holy shit. I would say something right now, but I feel like I'd get in trouble from Twitch if I did. But, oh, fuck. That's Binley, Ipswich, Rosewood, Springfield, Cleveland, Doomburn, Ferny Grove. That's the airport line. Fuck, the airport line goes down to the Gold Coast? Really? That's the Gold Coast airport line. Oh, shit. I'm pretty sure they want to get the tram to go pretty much from the Gold Coast airport to Brisbane airport, or at least somewhere up in Brisbane, because they're building a tram system. So far it goes as far as Griffith from Packfair Shopping Centre. They are moving it down a little bit, but it's not really much. Okay. Oh, they did another one. They did one for Half Abundance. We might have to watch that one next as well.
Radial, meaning they originate at a point, the city centre in this case, and span outwards, the Tennyson line has an orbital arrangement connecting two lines together. The reason is quite simple. When the line was built
He's
in
watching
1884,
stuff about
the Brisbane
trains because he
suburban
likes
network looked like
trains.
this.
Yes.
Yes, that's it. The only rail corridor south of the CBD was what we now know as the Ipswich line, and the only rail bridge crossing the river was the Albert Bridge in Indooroopilly. So if you wanted to build a rail line serving Brisbane's southern suburbs, you had to start it south of the Albert Bridge. So when a rail line was needed to connect the coal mining town of Ipswich to serve the wharves along the Brisbane River, in Wollongabba for refueling and the exportation of coal, the Wollongabba Branch Railway Line, that's Wollongabba spelled with one L, not two, unlike the suburb, was opened from South Brisbane Junction to Stanley Street Station on the 2nd of June of 1884. Less than a year later, in April of 1885, the start of the Binley Line was constructed to Loganley, where both lines met at Buggo Junction. Over the years, the rail network on the south side changed a lot, but the Tennyson Line remained an integral part of the network, as it connected the Ipswich and Binley lines, as well as being a major freight corridor. However, in 1978, the Merivale Bridge would open between Roma Street and South Brisbane, finally connecting the Binley Line more directly to the city centre. No longer was the Tennyson Line needed for a passenger service connection
really
between the two
though.
lines,
It's nice
so
to
it fell out of favour.
see like the history of these railway lines. Because like I had a lot of train books when I was a kid. I think they're in a storage shed at the moment. I think I still technically kind of have them, but they're just in storage right now. But the way that it's set up in this video, it goes a bit more into like the history of Australian railway lines. All the books that I had were just about like the actual trains themselves and like French railways and like British railways. They didn't really go into anything Australian, other than the fact that, you know, we used some of the engines that were featured in the book. All the DVDs I used to have were about like construction of railways in Britain, Europe in general, and the US, of course. So it's really interesting watching all the history of like these abandoned stations that are just kind of sitting there, remnants of a past, remnants of a bygone era.
Service was thinned out to just a shuttle service between Corinda and Yeerongpilly. The shuttle was suspended briefly on the 1st of June 1998 before resuming shortly after. Interestingly, the Tennyson shuttle used the Silver Bullet rail cars as rolling stock.
There's actually one of these Silver Bullet rail cars still in operation today here in Australia. It's in WA, I believe, because the car is used to traverse the desert due to its diesel engine. It can do it. Granted, though, the thing would be like a fucking metal sauna. But I really want to go on it. I think they retrofitted it for narrow gauge to make it easier to traverse through the desert. Although I feel like standard gauge would have been better for that. But it also has narrower ridges that the train needed to cross. So it does make sense.
Would be the last line to do so before they were all retired in January of the year 2000.
They're not all
only
retired,
to be replaced
pal.
by the ICE.
Still
yes,
one in
for
WA.
a short time, the ICE, a train designed for long-distance travel, was used as the Tennyson shuttle, literally one of the shortest distances such a train could travel on the QR network.
Oh, shit.
As the platform at Tennyson was so short, only the first carriage of the ICE would be used for passenger transfer. This absurdity would not last long, however, as on the 25th of May 2001, the Tennyson shuttle service was abolished and replaced by the 104 bus route. While services still ran on the line, they only did so in peak times. Even this would come to an end, as due to low patronage, on the 3rd of June 2011, a 6-car SMU left the station at 4 p.m. for Corinda as the last ever service on the Tennyson line.
Oh, shit. God, I love those sounds. Honestly, I would just go to a train station just to listen to the sounds of the trains pulling in, leaving, and just bypassing the station altogether. That's my kind of ASMR. Fuck all your fucking whispering into your ears and shit. Give me fucking train station sounds any day of the week.
Ding, 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 ding.
The fuck?
This is what remains today. Quite a lot, actually. The signage, shelters, payphones, CCTV cameras, and other stuff were removed. However, as you can see, quite a bit remains. Oddly enough, for a station that was used not long ago, the second platform was very, very short, meaning only 3 train cars at a time can stop at the station. So, what will happen to this line in the future? Well, the line is utilised heavily by freight services
train.
with the Malulabin goods yard located on the line. It is also used during track closures to redirect services if other parts of the line are closed, and until very recently it's still been displayed on the Queensland Rail Network map until the latest version of the map came out. So it's safe to say that the Tennyson Rail Corridor is going nowhere. But how about passenger services on this line?
They still use it for
unlike
the
the previous 2 stations, this station has a bit
network,
going for it.
but they can't use. They don't use it for the passenger one
and it's an
anymore.
orbital route, unlike the radial routes on most of our network, which are great at funneling people into the city, but are terrible at getting people anywhere else. The Tennyson line, at least in part, is a solution to this issue as an orbital route. Plus, the 104 bus replacing the Tennyson shuttle is notoriously terrible. Robert Dow, the spokesperson for the public transport advocacy group Rail Back on Track, has always maintained that reopening the line would reduce car congestion better than the proposed $800 million to $1.3 billion duplication of the Walter Taylor car bridge. And it's not just transport enthusiasts, because there have actually been calls to reopen the line, like in 2021 when Councillor Nicol Johnson of Tennyson...
There's actually, in sort of between my town and somewhere south of here again, I can't quite remember where, there is a train bridge. I don't know if the bridge is operational anymore due to the fact that the bridge simply... I've never seen a train on it. Every time I've gone past it lately, could always just be that I'm not there at the right time. There's actually a level crossing that is in operation though. It does have passenger as well. There's freight trains. But yeah, I've never seen the bridge actually in operation, but it's a railway bridge that crosses the river. Pretty sure it is in operation because I've been on a train from my town to Sydney. So pretty sure it is. But yeah, I just haven't actually seen a train crossing it, and I think I was asleep when I went through because I just tried to basically sleep the train right away because it was such a long ride. Like if I was on the train for like an hour, I'd be awake for the whole damn thing. I'd be fucking wired. I'd be like, train.
And the Greens MP Michael Berkman proposed to have the line reopened, citing benefits for the community and an increased demand due to the nearby Queensland Tennis Centre being used as a venue for the 2032 Olympics. Councillor Nicol Johnson was quoted as saying,
"The Tennyson Spur line is a critical service. It seems short-sighted to me to close a rail line that can move people around the city."
Michael Berkman was quoted as saying,
"I think the time is right to kick off a..."
This person holding the mic, 100%, I bet you anything, they're on a fucking skateboard right now.
Conversation about reopening it.
Yeah, because he was a drugger.
This line would create more cross-suburban links for all those residents.
And then Transport Minister Mark Bailey responded by saying that reopening the line would cause significant delays across the rest of the network and would not be worth it due to the low patronage. No. So can the line actually be reopened? No. Well, the short answer is no. The long answer is also no. Let's start with the smaller issue, the station itself. The station is located only a kilometre away from Yirrongpilly Station and realistically only serves passengers west of the station, as in the east Yirrongpilly Station does the job quite well already. For an example, let's say I live in one of the 2 high-rises in the suburb, which collectively make up around 50% of Tennyson's population of 1,109 people. Walking to Tennyson Station takes 9 minutes, while walking to Yirrongpilly Station takes, well, also 9 minutes.
Come on.
It's the same story for the Tennyson
Station. It's like they're trying to make them look girly. For fuck's sake.
What the fuck are you doing? Oh, you're watching anime.
marginal benefits to low-density areas to the west of the station. Furthermore, as the station is not long enough, is too curvy and half demolished, it will need to be rebuilt in a different location on a straighter alignment of track. This cannot be done west of the station, as there is simply no room, so it'll have to be constructed east of the station, as Robert Dow suggested, due to the location providing a straighter alignment and space for amenities like park and rides and space for a car park. While this station relocation would provide better access to the tennis centre and the apartment blocks, it would be costly and be more inconvenient for the residents that live in West Tennyson, which were the residents that really needed the public transport in the first place. So this is what Mark Bailey meant when he said the station would have low patronage. It will have to be relocated in an awkward spot that is already decently served by Europe Station.
They just don't reopen train lines here in Australia. Like, put in the fucking effort to doing something that greatly benefits the people and will bring more money into the city. Like,
but in the future, the area will most likely be redeveloped, as evidenced by the high-rises shown earlier, and will be a good investment for when the area becomes more densely populated. Setting aside the questionable benefits that the station will provide, the real benefits will come from the cross-connectivity the Tennyson line would provide between the Ipswich and Binley lines, which will dwarf any benefits that the station itself could ever deliver. Which leads me on to the second and bigger issue of the line, and why it will most likely never be opening anytime soon. The problem lies here, on the rail corridor directly east of Tennyson Station. Specifically, this 3-track section between Park Road and Coopers Plains, which is served by the Gold Coast and Binley lines, with the Gold Coast service running express, while the Binley train stops all stations. Let's see what happens at peak times. In the morning peak, services from the Gold Coast to the city run on the outside track in 7-minute intervals. Services from the Binley to the city run on the second track in 7-minute intervals, and everything else runs on the first track, averaging 10 minutes between trains. As the Tennyson service will stop all stations, you cannot route the city-bound Tennyson services through the third track, as this will conflict with the express Gold Coast services, nor can you route it through the second track, as there is simply no room. And even if there was, this would cause huge knock-on effects if there was any sort of delay. If the Tennyson service was bound in the direction of Binley, it would not be able to, as the train frequency is planned such that the Gold Coast and Binley trains have the maximum possible distance between them, and adding another service in there would screw this up, such that the express service would be able to catch up with the Tennyson train. The same thing
It's a very good way of describing it, because if they did add one extra train, even if it was just to go across that connecting line, it would completely fuck up the way the current schedule works. Like, they need to add a separate track entirely for it, so I suppose it makes a lot of sense as to why it's not operational in the end.
Happens in the afternoon peak, except in reverse. What about off-peak service? Not really. The off-peak utilizes tracks 1 and 2, so technically we could route a service through track 3, but the service can only run in one direction, as tracks 1 and 2 are timed perfectly for the Gold Coast train. This solution was suggested by Robert Dow recently, but come on, an infrequent, off-peak, and one-direction-only service is a lackluster excuse of a solution. So this is what Mark Bailey meant when he said reopening the Tennyson line would cause significant delays across the network. The only way to fix this would be to add another track. This would allow the complete separation of the express Gold Coast services from the rest of them, allowing us to add more traditional all-stop services on the other tracks, as well as boost frequency of the Gold Coast services. So can we add another track to this bottleneck corridor? Well, of course not. There is simply no room to add another track. Doing so would mean significant terraforming of the surrounding land, as well as the destruction of people's homes. This makes for a very weird rail corridor on the Binley line, where you have 4 tracks between Binley and Kirby after the completion of the Logan and Gold Coast Faster Rail project, followed by a 3-track alignment to South Brisbane, only to go to 2 tracks over the Merivale Bridge. Speak of bottlenecks, am I right? So that's why we can't reopen the Tennyson line, not to mention the track conflicts at Uralpilly on the massive bottleneck that is the Merivale Bridge. It's sad, really. One of the ways we can fix our network is cross-connectivity, and the Tennyson line would provide said cross-connectivity, at least locally. But like a red herring of sorts, the Tennyson line continues to elude us into thinking it's possible, when in reality, it really isn't. So those were the histories.
See, it would have been possible if they had enough distance between houses, but they don't. They built too densely around the track prior to keeping the line open.
Remnants and futures, or lack
they
thereof,
need to do everything
of 3
earlier.
Brisbane's railway stations. I'm now going to go home in the only way I can, my private automobile. And with that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
fuck is that? That's what I'm missing. What? Oh, is that a beamer? It's probably a rental.
The fucking sparkles.
Right. That was good. That actually did a lot. Described everything quite well, and I enjoyed that. Yeah, so open that one in a new tab because I do want to see that one